Hey, I'm here with my wife, Little Miss Sleepyhead,
Yes, I'm very tired.
to talk about Excalibur number two.
Number two,
Number two, those. Um,
Dos Equis.
yeah, okay. Yeah, you look like you've had a couple.
Yeah, I'm tired. My eyes are like,
We're doing this one at night. So
yeah.
yeah, that's why I got on my bedtime gear. Wife got her sleepy look on, but yeah. So
I can't tell you
anyway,
bedtime gear. It just look like
a
a
t-shirt,
t-shirt.
yeah, that I'm gonna wear to bed. Anyway, yeah. So Excalibur number two. I like to start these things off on a positive note. So I will say, that the artwork is really good. The artwork
Yeah.
is still consistently good. It's
I
probably
concur.
yeah, it's probably my second favorite of all the artworks of the X books right now. Of course, my first favorite is the beautiful Fallen Angels. I mean, just the purples and everything is gorgeous. But anyway, uh, it's a very nice looking book. Um, and that's about all the no. The characterizations are very good as well. I did enjoy. There was one point where they were kind of annoying, like towards the beginning, like when because in this issue, Rogue is basically incapacitated, and Gambit is very protective and obviously in love with Rogue, and everybody's like kind of making jokes, and he's like, "This ain't no time to be joking. My woman is down," So I did. Well, hey, that's what it was. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but hey, that's basically what it was. He's like,
still
man,
in her coma, and they're on a boat, and they're going to try to find this lighthouse or something.
yeah, the lighthouse where Excalibur used to have their headquarters or whatever, which I guess is like the base for Captain Britain's power. So,
Yeah, so while they were on this journey on the boat, Kitty Pryde was over there, cracking jokes and stuff. And honestly, I found it really like inappropriate. It seemed very immature of her to be cracking jokes and stuff when Rogue is in a coma and you guys are trying to figure out, what's going on with her and how to basically get her out of this coma. And you're just on a boat just cracking jokes like everything is funny. So that was annoying to me.
And Gambit was clearly annoyed by it
Yeah,
as
he
well.
said as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'm glad y'all all find this funny, basically,
Yeah.
So yeah. Well that was cool. What I will say though is that I did like the characterizations. I like that he was shown to be so much in love with Rogue or whatever, and that like he was his main focus. I like that. I also like okay. I also like Jubilee, like the way she's portrayed, like she
That's the one with the baby?
Yes,
Okay.
she's the one with the baby. She clearly didn't trust the baby with Apocalypse. I guess from the years of Apocalypse being a bad guy, she didn't really trust her baby with much of anybody. So much so that during the middle of the mission, she jumped through like a coin gate to go back and get her baby and bring him back with her. So
yeah, she wanted to make sure that he was safe.
So I thought that was really cool because you can like feel the love between like that she has for her child, which is quite realistic actually. My wife would jump out in the middle of a mission and go grab our kids. So I
ain't going on a mission without my baby.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, so I did like that. Those are like the two things that I did. Oh, and I like the characterization of Apocalypse as well when he's not all up into the magical stuff. Like him telling Captain Britain, hey, I got this, back off or whatever. And she's like, I don't need your help. And then he shows up anyway and lights up everybody. And it's like, hey, I said I got this, going about your business.
Yeah, but what about Apocalypse in the beginning of the book? They're talking about these two twins that had these powers. And I guess the twins were exiled off of whatever.
It looked like it was. Island. It looked like it was like the Roman Empire or something. It looked like because of the things on their little head.
It said it was somewhere 4th century or something like that. Yeah, 4th century BCE.
Whatever BCE is, I know what BC is, but
twins. They were mutants or whatever, and their family or whoever, exiled them or whatever, and they got on this boat to, leave in the ocean, and they basically drowned. And Apocalypse just stood there and didn't even try to save them or help them.
Well, Apocalypse logic, they were pretty much clear about his logic and his motivations behind this. These people were mutants and they were outcast by their own society as mutants have been for millennia or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they made this little raft and they're about to leave and go out on the ocean. However, they didn't make the raft very well and it wasn't waterproof, so they started to sink.
Yeah.
And Apocalypse, and they ended up drowning. And Apocalypse watched and he was like, you know, yeah, they are my people and I could save them. However, I refuse to save someone who is the reason for their own demise. And yeah, it seemed kind of cold, but that's Apocalypse.
Yeah, but then in the book, you're sitting up here and Kitty Pryde and Captain Britain, all them are fighting these people and basically need help and are going to get their tail whooped, and you step in and you save them. But you couldn't save these people back then in 4th century BCE because you're like, oh, well, survival of the fittest. Well, then why aren't you doing that now?
Because maybe they put that in there to show that he's evolved and like he's different now. And perhaps they're trying to show the contrast between how he was then and how he is now, and that he actually cares about these people, that he actually cares about these mutants that are a part of this team.
He'll get a pass. He'll get a pass.
But I'm saying maybe that's why they're doing it, or maybe they want us to think that, and like he's got some kind of ulterior motive. But you know, I think they wanted to.
Why is he so gung ho on helping him and making sure she gets to her brother Captain Britain?
Honestly, I think it's because Apocalypse has had a change of heart. You know,
really.
Like,
and what's up with him and this all magic stuff? Why are he trying to get into that?
You know what? That's to me is what makes this book probably one of the weaker books. I think the weakest, I think it's the weakest of the X books as far as story, and it's probably because of all the magic stuff. I just feeling all the magic and the Morgan Le Fay and let's go to Camelot and all that stuff. I don't feel that. And by the way, I thought it was very odd that Captain Britain, her brother Brian, is off there. Megan Le Fay has him and basically enslaved him and all this stuff. Rogue got put into a coma because of her dealings with the gate, and they're basically trying to go somewhere else. I would think that their first priority would be to go over there, but...
Well, where is he? I thought he was at Excalibur.
Where is who?
Her brother.
Her brother is over there in that Camelot, in that other world from the last issue, that place of magic, that magic Camelot or whatever.
But why are they... I still don't understand why they were trying to go to the lighthouse. I thought they were trying to go to the lighthouse to help them figure out what was going on with Rogue and her being in a coma.
Well, the lighthouse is the source of the power for Captain Britain, so they were trying to go... They went there...
Why is it the source of power? I thought as long as she was close to Britain.
Yeah, but that's the source, and it's located in Britain, so the further she gets away from that, the more power would decrease. So to that end, that's why they're there, and they're trying to set up a little gateway.
So she can go there.
So she can go back and forth.
So she can go back and forth and get the So set up a gateway there, and then she can go back and forth to her source of power, get closer to her, her power.
Right, but to get there, she had to get on the boat with Kitty Pryde because they don't already have one set up there. So there you go.
Okay, now the green people, or the people with the green hoods.
They're druids
that nobody can see but her.
Yeah, Captain Britain. I guess because of her powers, it's weird calling her Captain Britain, but because of her powers, she's able. Yeah, she's able to see them and talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you can go ahead and make your little thing here since you're the protector of the people," and more magic stuff, which was frankly boring. Yeah,
the magic stuff just, I don't know, it just kind of throws me off.
Yeah, and the people from the water coming up.
Yeah, trying to attack them and stuff.
Yeah, it's magic stuff. Yeah. That's why I don't read Doctor Strange.
Why are the Kitty Pryde, not Kitty Pryde, Jubilee and Captain Britain, why are they having bad dreams?
Okay,
is it just because
they're
just concerned? Because both of them, in both of their dreams, they had apocalypse in it.
Yeah. I think Jubilee was having the dreams because she's concerned for her son.
Baby.
She's thinking about her baby. She's thinking about her baby with apocalypse and waking up nightmares like, oh my God, my baby's with apocalypse, and so.
Yeah, but she didn't leave her baby with apocalypse.
Well, she left them on the island with Apocalypse, though, where Apocalypse was. I mean, they said somebody else is watching her or whatever, but yeah, she's all panicky. Oh, I don't want to leave my baby alone, and Apocalypse is there. Get that person away from my baby. So
whatever. I'm like a big old island. You worried about one man?
Well, Apocalypse was crazy in the past. He's still a little crazy.
Okay.
But I will say this is the most interesting Apocalypse has been, in my opinion. I've always hated Apocalypse. Even in when he was supposed to be this bad guy or whatever, he's more interesting now. But the magic just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So anyway, the magic is though it seems like that's what this book is about. Or at least this story arc. Maybe once this story arc is done, I'm actually rooting for this book because I like the characters in the book, but it's just the magic. Can we just get through the magic and not go back to it, Oh, and I will say this: Betsy Braddock former Psylocke, now Captain Britain, is boring as all hell as Captain Britain. I just had to say that because she is. She was fun when she was put into the body of Quinn. They shared a body. She was in this assassin's body and all that stuff, and still had her psychic knife and all that stuff. She was interesting then. You know, I thought she was interesting. But when they're like separated, and now she has like, it's like she's never. It seems like she's never really had her own identity. It's like, okay, for a while there, she was with the X-Men, but she was more like a little flunky character that had zero fighting skills. Then she got into the body of Quentin, and so now she has all the fighting skills that Quentin had, and she was this trained as this assassin, so now she got all these mad crazy skills in addition to her psychic powers. So it's like, oh wow, now she's cool. Mm-hmm. Then now the two have been separated, so now she's back to being bland and boring, and they try to make her more exciting by giving her the powers of Captain Britain, and Captain Britain is boring, so now we got boring on top of boring, and there we have
boring. And so how about what's the baby's name?
Shogo. Yeah.
So did he turn into this dragon?
That was a trip. Because at the end, I think they actually did go to Otherworld. I think that's what happened. Yeah, I think they transported to Otherworld.
She was trying to go to Otherworld, and then next thing you know, what's her name was like, "Where's Shogo? My baby?"
What happened to my baby? Because she insisted on taking the baby with her for some reason. And so they get there.
Oh, yeah, so when they went through, she did go to Otherworld. When they get to Otherworld.
They go to Otherworld, and Shogo is now a dragon. A big-ass dragon. Yeah. Not a little Lockheed dragon. A big-ass Game of Thrones big-ass dragon. So it's like, okay, what happened? And the only reason that we even know that it's Shogo is because he was talking. He always says his name. He's like, Shogo?
And you're like, and
you're like, oh, crap. Shogo? This boy just became a big-ass dragon.
Yeah, we assume that is him. Like, that he turned into the dragon once they went to Otherworld or whatever you call it. Once they went through.
Yeah, and I admit, I don't know a lot about Shogo, but it's like, okay, this to me says that maybe it makes you wonder. Yeah, it makes you wonder because his mother's a mutant. Yeah. You know, his mother's Jubilee. She's a mutant. Yeah. But mutant powers generally don't manifest until they're teenagers, and they go through puberty. That's the whole mutant thing. That's how it works. So with this happening here, you have to say, okay, is he pulling like a move from The Incredibles with a little kid, and he has powers even as a baby, or is it because he's in this magical place and that's the cause of this happening to him? So you don't really know. It's a question. And honestly, that was one of the few things in the book that was interesting. So there's that.
Turn into this big old dragon.
Yeah, but I mean, really, if you're into like Bjork. Oh gosh, my wife is singing Bjork. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say this: if you're into the magic and all that, then fine. It's a good read for you. Like if you're into the mutants and the magic, great, go for it. Me personally, I cannot read Doctor Strange. I cannot read Brother Voodoo. I can't read nothing with magic. It's boring as all hell and puts me to sleep. So
are you gonna continue reading this book?
I don't have to. I mean, I'll have to. If I hear, actually, you know what? I have Marvel Unlimited. Hell, it goes there in 6 months. I'll wait. I don't have to like get this book when it comes out. It's not holding my interest. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't.
That's okay.
Yeah. So
now I'm just curious to see if the baby really turned into a dragon or not.
I'm curious, but I don't care that much. All right, so we're gonna rate this.
I want to see like what's gonna happen with Rogue and how they're gonna bring her out this coma or whatever, or how does she get into it? You know, like what's going on. I want to see what happens with that. But yeah, other than that, it is boring to me.
Yeah. With Rogue, I'm curious, but
that's it.
Yeah. So if we're required to rate this thing, what would you rate it? Drum roll, please.
I don't know, 6, 7.
I don't know, 6, 7. Okay. Honestly, for me, I would go as far as to say 5 because it's just boring, man. It's just boring. Sorry. I want to like all the books, but this one is, frankly, to me, the weakest one as far as story. So there you have it. All right, so there you have it. Is there anything you would like to add? My sleeping nope, beauty over there, a little sleepy. Eyes open. I see you. Ooh, sleeping and burping. Okay. All right. I think that's it for us. We have one more. We have one more coming soon. We need to do the other book for this week, Marauders. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.